Hey, it's Camila Stevenson, and around here we talk wealth, and XRP has hit the mainstream media. I'm going to try to figure out what that means for all of us. Drop where you're from in the chat. I would love where you're coming from and where you're chiming in from. All right. Few things I want to talk about. I want to share concerning XRP, and it was kind of bizarre, y'all, to see XRP on mainstream media on CNBC. Alabama, Jamaica, what's up? Good evening, entrepreneur for life. I love that name. Dallas, Georgia is in the house. What's up, y'all? All right, what y'all feel about? Yeah. Drop where you're from. I want to have a conversation. What's up? New Jersey is in the house. Fort Lauderdale. I love it. Bahamas. I have not been there in so long, and I got to get back to see my friend. Chi-Town, my place. New York, Connecticut, Toronto, Maryland. What's up? North Carolina, England. Yes, I have not been there in a while. Los Angeles, New York. Yes, Indianapolis. What's up? RDU Airport. Yeah, North Carolina. I love it. Columbus, Atlanta, Baton Rouge. Yes. South Carolina, Boston. What's up, y'all? Okay. We got a lot to talk about. I want to share some things with you guys. North, East Tennessee, Ivory Coast, West Africa. What's up? I wonder what time it is in Africa right now. What's up from Athens, Georgia? Albany, yes. Cleveland. What's up? What's up from the UK? How you doing? All right, Florida. I see from all over the world. I got to figure out where I'm going to go, y'all. We got to do a meetup, right? All right. So I want to play a quick, I'm hoping I can get this clip played because I just saw it. What's up, Corey? What's up? I just saw this clip and I was like flabbergasted at this because it's not often that you see XRP in the media like this, right? So let me see if I can play this. Just let me know if you guys can hear it. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it on here. All right, let's see if I can play this. Give me 1 second. All right.
The hottest crypto trade of the year is not Bitcoin. It is not Ether. It is XRP, the coin formerly known as Ripple, soaring more than 20% this year, becoming the third largest cryptocurrency out there. And there's big money behind this trade. Mackenzie Sagalos joins us now with that XRP trade and what, Mac, is driving all of this interest in XRP.
Well, it's actually been interesting is that during the doldrums of Q4, you actually saw a lot of people piling into those XRP ETFs, which is the exact opposite of what happens with the spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs, where people really move in tandem with the price of the coin. But it was the fact that it is a way to have a higher percentage jump. So people were buying the dip with XRP in Q4, thinking this is a less crowded trade than Bitcoin or Ether. And then that proved out to be true just in the first 6 trading days of January.
We've also.
All right. So, like this is different. This is very, very, very different. Let's see. I'm just making sure you guys was able to see that clip. Were you guys able to see that clip? This is very different in that I have never seen XRP talked about like this in that light, right? And so, it happened on CNBC, and they're explaining exactly what happened as far as the positioning of XRP. I'm sure you guys all seen it. Yep, you all seen it if you see X. Yeah. I'm looking at some of the Texas, anyone doing trades from the idiots on TV, real investment help. Yeah. All right. So I want to share my thoughts on everybody. What I'm noticing is everybody has a different plan with XRP, right? Hit that like button. Yes, I appreciate that. Hit that like button. Everybody has a different plan. I want to share my perspective with that. But first, you know what? Let me ask you guys this. Does it make you a little nervous that you see it on the headlines? Does that make you nervous? Put 1 in the chat for yes and 2 if no. Does it make you a bit nervous that you're seeing it now in the headlines? I'm just wondering how you guys are thinking about this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Desmond. One, it makes you a little scared. Not quite for a change. Okay. Two, just a bit. Yeah. I'm a little indifferent about it. You know what I mean? Like, for a lot of different reasons. But let me share kind of like my thought processing on it, because again, it's so weird to see them say something like that about XRP, because obviously, Bitcoin is the thing that's everybody's been talking about. But yeah, it makes me a little scared. I'm a little indifferent. Again, hit that like button. Nothing I say is financial advice. Everything I say is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just sharing my opinions about certain things, and I'm going to share kind of what I'm thinking through and what I think may play out. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm gonna just tell you what I'm doing to prepare for it. Okay. What to me, looking at XRP on mainstream media, and I'm sure it'll be a lot more over the next several years, of course. It lets me know that we're entering into like a different phase, and different phases require different levels of awareness. So I'm thinking through that. One thing I've learned over the years is mainstream coverage usually shows up, of course, after positioning has already happened. We heard the lady, talk about some of the positioning when XRP at a weak point of XRP. So it's rarely the starting gun. Okay. It's more like confirmation that an asset, it has kind of moved or transitioned from being ignored to a little bit of disgust. And yes, Joseph, it's about time they start talking about XRP. I love to see it, but I'm watching the signals of it. What stood out is not the excitement, but the interest of it that's showing up. And of course, they were talking about XRP. If you looked at the whole clip, I'm not going to play the whole clip, of course, but they was talking about XRP ETFs saw inflows during quarter 4, while the price was still, basically suppressed, So obviously that's not how retail behaves. Retail gets excited after price moves. So there's like a different pattern that's starting to show. Thank you so much, Strayway Zoe. I feel like I'm about to hear MC Light spit bars. Yeah, it makes me think why I mention it now. Yeah. You know what I think about headlines. I think sometimes they trying to look for exit liquidity. Like now you saying something, now you trying to pump it and get, I don't, it makes me feel a little indifferent. I'm not sure, but I'm going to tell you what I think. I do think visibility matters. Because it brings it to a different audience. It's going to bring it, there's different people who watch that and okay, what's this about? They may do a little bit more research on it. And so it can start to increase the participation, but it also increases volatility. So I believe that when you start putting stuff on headlines, it will increase volatility. Okay. But everybody, you got to remember, is not coming from the same time horizon. Okay. So that's why, of course, I'm not following sentiment, but I will observe it, because sentiment is going to tell you how crowded a trade is becoming. It doesn't tell you whether the thesis is right or wrong. Okay. When they say go left, I go right. Right. Let me put that up. Okay. That's how it feels sometimes, so you got to watch what headlines are saying and what they're doing, because, the media likes to kind of set things up the way they want it to be presented. But I want to be very clear. I am long-term bullish. And that doesn't mean everything is a straight up line. It means that, just understanding that attention and liquidity and behavior changes as an asset moves through these different phases. And I think we're in a different phase. Now, I don't want to scare anybody, okay? Because I think I scare people when I say this. What's up from the Dominican? What's up? Living here in Florida. I love it. Regards to you too. Thank you for being here. Thank everybody for being here. Here's what I'm preparing for, okay? So there's a lot of confusion about this, and I just gotta just say what I'm feeling. Okay. Now, a lot of people are gonna lump this all together. Okay. I'm ready for a crash. I am. What's up from California? I said I'm ready for a crash. I don't know if a crash will come, but I'm ready for a crash. Now, let me just look up there's different kinds of crashes and events that happen. Now, you always have, what's up from Australia? You always have the expected corrections. So just know, in the market, there are always corrections, y'all. So don't, like sometimes even if something is going to take its course, there's going to be corrections. Okay. Just know that. Okay. So there's these pullbacks that happen because maybe sometime price ran too fast, too far, whatever, leverage get built up, or sentiment got ahead of itself. Okay, it's normal. The market needs those. So I just want to level you off so that you can prepare for everything. Okay, then you have what you call flash type crashes or events. So that's when the liquidity starts to disappear, but it's like really quick. Okay, the orders and stuff, they cascade. I've seen it before, the wicks print, but it doesn't reflect. When that happens, it doesn't reflect real value at that moment. It's just like a temporary imbalance that starts to happen. Okay, now a flash crash can be completely violent. Okay, but they are short-lived, so you will see those. Yes, in Carlton Way, pullbacks are very normal. Then you have what you call black swan event, which is, they're not modeled well, of course. They're not widely expected to happen usually. But when they do, they change the behavior across the markets and not just the price. Matter of fact, I want to get the actual definition because I don't always assume that people know, and I want to say it the way it should be said. I don't know if people always know exactly what the words are. So I'm sure most of you all know what a black swan event is, but I'm going to give you an actual definition. Okay. So a black swan event. Okay, listen to this. Crypto is very volatile. And when you put it on the headlines, it gets more volatile. So just know that. I see that as opportunity. Okay. And this is why I'm going to share something after this about my movements with XRP. A black swan event is rare. It's a rare, unexpected event that has a major impact and only seems obvious after it happens. Okay, hear me out. Do I think black swan events are planned? I do. So in simple terms, it's unpredictable, meaning nobody sees it coming. Usually normal data or models. Okay. Number two, it has massive consequences, meaning financial markets, governments, or entire systems are affected. Thank you so much, Chris Reagan. And then number three, people rationalize it after. So once it happens, everybody says, oh, we should have seen that coming, right? We should have seen that. What's up, XRP? Max, new member. So basically, I'm just reading from it. It's like seeing a black swan for the first time when everyone believed all swans were white. Once you see it, your whole assumption system breaks. Common examples: 2008 financial crises, COVID-19, 9/11 attacks, sudden market crashes caused by hidden leverage. When was that? October the 10th. Okay, that was a sudden crash that nobody saw coming. Now, I just want you to understand what a black swan event is. Okay, I am not saying a black swan event is coming necessarily. Do you think? I think it could, and I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. Okay, I think it could. I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. I'm not saying it's coming. Okay, I don't know. Guess what? Nobody knows. None of us. Okay, the powers that be do, but none of us know. All right. By the time it happens, I think a lot of them were planned. But I do. Here's what I would say. Green Bay, what's up? I do think it's a mistake to assume that we won't see one just because we're bullish. And I am bullish. Okay, I'm bullish. October the 10th was a wake-up call for me. And I love this comment. Okay, right? Say, I just took I would love to see a black swan. It looks very beautiful. I haven't seen one, but yeah. So October 10th was a wake-up call. And I wasn't prepared for that move. I keep telling you guys, I was scrambling, trying to make sense of it. And I don't say that lightly. It was, you know what I'm saying? It just, my structure was not ready for something that's sudden, but it won't be this time. So what I did for October 10th, and I've shared this before, I went back and I looked where liquidity disappeared, where the wicks printed, where price briefly traded and snapped back. And I started placing limit orders all down the wick and lower. Okay. So thank you so much, James. So that's what I did. Venezuela felt like a white swan event. Yeah, I'll give you the difference. There's black swan. Now, so he said white swan event. So let me give a definition for that. So you guys can know what that means. Give me 1 second. So, because everybody don't know what these terms mean, and I want to say it in the proper way. Okay. A white swan event, because and that was based off of this comment that I just put on right here. Okay. A white swan event is a predictable, expected event that happens when normal assumptions and within normal assumptions and has manageable or limited impact. Okay. In simple terms, one, it's expected. So analyst models and his history already account for it. Two, it fits existing patterns, meaning nothing fundamentally breaks or surprises the system. And three, the impact is contained. Okay. So markets or systems absorb it without collapsing. Okay. So there's a difference between a black swan event and a white swan event. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you so much, Carlton Way. I appreciate that. And somebody said anyone who knows October 10th coming a mile away, it's all about where the long and short leverage. Yeah. You know, a lot of people felt like, well, that was more like a flash crash. Okay. That represented more like a flash crash. So meaning that it did not represent the action price. Okay. So you're right in saying that it wasn't like a swan event, like out of nowhere. You could look at the leverage and see that there was over leveraging and that all that leverage was about to be wiped out. So, but I don't think anybody expected it to happen as quickly as it happened. So maybe black swanish in that event, in that some people didn't expect. But yeah, as a technical analysis, you know, if you're looking at technical analysis and you're looking at all of the leverage that happened, yeah, you can definitely see that. So I appreciate that comment. But it was just, and it bounced right back up. Okay, so it had nothing to do with the actual value of the assets at that moment, but there was, in a black swan event, it does kind of affect things. And in that sense, October 10th did cause a little bit of damage. It wasn't like the the crash happened and then it just completely rebounced like a V-shaped recovery. There was still some kind of impact. I think, yeah, it was such a great sale. You know, I think that it left some effects to the market a bit, to cryptocurrency after that. And yeah, so white swan, visible expected shift that feels sudden to the public, but carefully prepared behind the scenes and unfolds faster than people imagine. Good, good, good. All right. Try not to sell my XRP, but listen, I just want y'all to just know that a lot of people feel like that. A lot of people really, you know what? I'm telling you, I'm listening to people even who have money, have a lot of wealth, but you know, a lot of people have their money in these assets. And they're really, everybody's just trying to buy some time. Like, please, we're just trying to buy time. Like, I can't do it no more. It can't go no lower than what it's going to go. You know, I'm going to have to sell it. I'm going to have to pay bills. The inflation is killing me. And a lot of people are definitely feeling the effects of that. It doesn't matter how much money you got, how many assets you get. A lot of people are feeling that. It's like, we just trying to buy some time, trying to create some money, trying to figure it out. So, and I do think October 10th was and that's why I did purchase on that day. I finally got through some purchases. Might still have to coordinate a dump on the way. Yeah, if it's CNBC. So okay. So I looked at that moment and I'm doing some things differently in a sense. I still buy the dips, of course, when I'm preparing for a crash. Okay. I really am. And I still buy the dips. Don't get me wrong. I still buy the dips. I buy the pullbacks. I'm not relying on a crash to load up. I've been buying XRP under $2 in the 180s. I bought another large order a couple of days before the new year, before it spiked up to to where it is now. So I'm playing it both ways. I'm not sitting on cash just waiting on some perfect crash that may never happen. Okay. I take advantage of where I was taking advantage of XRP under $2, but I also have very deep limit orders in place, very low ones. I'll tell you exactly where they are, by the way. Ones that will probably never get hit. Okay. And if they never do, that's perfectly fine. What matters to me is that I am positioned either way. I have money sitting there. I moved money and I have limit orders. You're not going to catch me off guard this time. I got some good limit orders. I'm going to tell you what my limit orders are, Chameleon. How you pronounce this? Yeah. Chameleon. Okay. I do actually have some at 75 cents though, but I'll tell you where my lowest one is. So let me just say this before I kind of talk about the way I think about XRP and give my thoughts on it. To me, being bullish doesn't mean being unprepared, and being prepared doesn't mean you're bearish. Okay. It just means that you understand that markets don't move in straight lines. And sometimes the moves that matter most happen when nobody's expecting them. So I'm not getting caught off guard. Okay. So I just put more limit orders in yesterday. And a lot of times to put limit orders in, you already have to move the money there. I have limit orders all the way down to like 35 cents. So I'm just letting you know. Now, if I'm going to be a bad mama jama if it ever captures, if we have a flash crash that ever goes that low. But honestly, that's just the lowest. Okay. I also have them. What's up, Joseph? We're gonna connect. I love that you're a member. Thank you for joining. But I have them all the way. I have them some at 75 cents, some at $1. I have them all the way down. I'm not gonna lie. I even have it all the way down to like a real flash crash where you just never know. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't prepared for October 10th. And to me, I don't know if that was some kind of setup or some kind of test or something. I have no idea, but I don't trust it. And I don't know. Maybe I could get filled at 35 cents. Who knows? You never know with crypto. So anyway, 90 cents, you say you got it at? And my ledger had stroke on the 10th. Yeah. 30 cents will sell all of my clothes and shoes to load up. Well, the reason why I have it that low is because if there is a flash crash, a lot of times those things happen really quick. And sometimes you don't have an opportunity to now try to jump in at the last at 30 cents. Now, I'm not saying XRP is going to 30 cents. Nothing I say is financial advice. I promise you I'm not. I'm just saying I have limit orders all the way down there. I told you guys I have limit orders, large limit orders around 11 cents for XLM, and I've gone down even lower, even for that as well. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just telling you all where my limit orders are, and then I'm going to share my plan. I also have Bitcoin at 4 digits. So I have large purchase orders if Bitcoin falls to 4 digits. Okay. I'm just saying, right? So I'm just telling you what I have because there's no way to plan if there's flash crashes and or Black Swan events. There's no way to know. I'm just positioned, but I can tell you now, I've been positioned for XRP all the way at the bottom for probably a year. I've had money all the way at the bottom for like a year. Okay. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So, and thank you for all the comments. So my strategy is just to be prepared. And I just really feel like October 10th explained to me how unprepared I was. Because guess what? If I would have had limit orders at 50 cents, or I'm sorry, where did XRP? I can't remember how far it dropped to, but if I would have had limit orders with some of those, like SUI dropped like 80%. I mean, it dropped 80%. Like, that's crazy to me. In like 5 minutes, I would have been good if that would have happened, right? So you're not going to catch me off guard. And so even if it doesn't happen, oh well. Okay. Now, here's what I want to say, because there's a lot of people talking about what their plan is for XRP as far as what they're going to do with it. And I just want to take a moment to share my plan and how I think about it. Oh, I shouldn't have put that up there, but you, thank you. I appreciate you. But I was trying to respect the $5. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate your generosity so much. All right. I try not to do the the ones where y'all, yeah. All right. So here's my strategy, and this is why I'm going to keep it simple, right? And so one thing I want to be very clear about is, because I see a lot of confusion out there, is that my strategy with XRP is very intentional. All right. It's not because I think other strategies are wrong. I want to say that right now. I do not think other strategies are wrong, right? No, I'm not blushing. I just appreciate, first of all, I appreciate when you guys give me money. I was responding to this comment. I appreciate when you guys bless me with money. I really do. And I try to put up anytime somebody blesses me with something, if I catch it, I really do try to catch it. And I just want to say, I really appreciate all of you all. I really want you to know that. And so I'm always smiling, I blush at all of you all, because I am excited that you're here with me, and I love this community, and I'm going to keep doing my due diligence, researching, and showing up with with what you guys desire me to talk about. All right. And so, and we share in this communication because I feed off of you all. I ask y'all questions, y'all learning, y'all doing y'all due diligence. And hey, we rocking together. Right. So I appreciate all of you all. Right. So again, my plan is, I see a lot of confusion, and I want you to know that every plan is just different. You know what I'm saying? I don't think other strategies are wrong. Some people are trading XRP. They're going to take profits. I hear them taking profits at certain levels, waiting for pullbacks. They're going to, they wait for the pullback, then they rebuy it at lower, and then they rotate, or they rotate it into other assets. And if you have a large position and you're watching the charts very closely and you're comfortable with constantly adjusting, because the truth is, when you playing that game of, okay, when it go here, I'm going to take a profit and then I'm going to wait for it to pull back, you got to be paying attention to the charts, and you got to be able to pivot and adjust and all of that. Okay. And that's a very logical approach, right? That's just not how I see. There we go. That's not how I see XRP. And it does take a lot of work. And I'm not about to be looking at the 50 and Joe is going to bounce off of here. Oh no, we got to go. Okay. We got to pull out up. And you just got to keep adjusting. And that's not my plan. Okay. That's not how I use XRP. For me, XRP is not a trading asset. It is an accumulation asset for me, right? It is it's the same way I played Bitcoin, because I'm looking at Bitcoin for my children's children way down the line, whatever that looks like, right? I don't go back and forth trading Bitcoin. Okay. And to be honest, I have tried it the other way. I've tried selling into strength, waiting for the pullback, trying to time it, re-enter it. And what I realized very, very quickly is that this approach requires constant adaptation. You have to stay glued to the charts. You got to watch the moving averages, the support levels, the resistance, the momentum. Listen, if you're not good at that, I think you should stick to accumulating. Okay. Because even when you're doing that, you have to ask, are we in a bull phase? Are we in a bear phase? Is this a fake out? Is this a real one? You got to keep going. And I don't have time to do that. Right. I already do that with stocks. Right. I do that with my swing trades, my contracts. That's where I spend that amount of energy. I do. And today I made some good money off of Amazon and off of Google, right? They made some runs early in the morning when the market opened. And I like that with stocks. I don't want to do that with XRP. And that's not how institutions are using XRP either, right? So, yeah, XRP and Bitcoin, I don't do that. So with both of those, my edge is not the technical timing. My edge is time and conviction. What I've seen over and over again, honestly, is that when people who just simply accumulated Bitcoin during those boring periods, the pullbacks, the bear markets, they often did probably better than those who was constantly trying to trade in and out of it. Okay. And think about this. They did it with far less stress and far fewer decisions. And so again, somebody else's plan, they thrive off of looking at the technical analysis and the lines here, and it's going to bounce off of here and do, you know what I mean? Again, I do that with stocks. I don't want to play games like that with my XRP. I just want to accumulate. I accumulate. I buy the pullbacks. I scale in over time. I do not chase price, and I don't feel pressure to sell just because something moved up. I don't. Right. I do have a couple of limit orders at high amounts, just a little bit, like a drop in the bucket. Okay. And that's only to reinvest it back into some other assets. Okay. And I really believe time in the market beats timing the market. And so I have my long-term and less stressed is the way. Right. So for me, it's too stressful to do that. Now, for some people, they like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? If it gets to $5, $8, I'm selling because it's going to be a pullback. Well, what if it don't? What if it just run? What if it never comes back? Well, and I guess that's fine. You still got the profit, and you can't ever lose. If you get the profit, maybe you reinvest it or whatever. So everybody just has a different strategy. I do have, again, my short-term stuff. What about the RSIs? Let me tell you something. I understand the RSIs, and if it's oversold or overbought, you can just do it that way. And I do stocks that way all the time, like looking at RSI. But I'm gonna also tell you too, I done seen the RSI be irrational for a very long time when I thought I should have sold or bought as well. All right. And even sometimes missed out on things because I'm looking at the RSI. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff can get oversold for a very long. I mean, the markets can be really, really irrational sometimes. So I don't want to play that game with XRP. I play that game with stocks and my contracts and stuff like that. And so somebody said XRP dropping below $2 again. Yeah. So XRP, what do you think Ripple's next big move this year? Other than, I mean, a big move is the bank. I mean, they probably trying to be a part of the stock market. That was this. They probably trying to get, you know what I'm saying? Like try to get it as part of the stock market, but who knows? Because they got a lot. I mean, everything that they're doing has already been planned, and you know what I'm saying, planned very carefully. But becoming a bank, that's going to be a big thing. I just can't wait to the Clarity Act. I think that the Clarity Act is going to be, it's going to be a game changer. Stocks are less volatile. Yeah, crypto is crazy volatile, right? So yeah, you can look at the 50 EMA, but I'm just not, that's not what I want to do with my XRP. XRP, just like Bitcoin, is not a trade. I really think the accumulation of it is my strategy. It's stress-free. I worry about the charts when it comes to stocks and my short-term trades and stuff like that, right? And here's another reason. Let me say this too, because I also do not want to be constantly adapting my plan. I have a plan and I don't want to adapt my plan. So think about this. And again, this strategy is not wrong. It really is good for some people, right? Every time you sell and try to rebuy, you are changing the structure, right? So you have to adapt your plan. You're introducing timing risk, and you're forcing yourself to be right over and over again. You are introducing timing risk. Again, some people are amazing at it. They love to do it. I don't want to do it. I want a plan that I can stick to, whether we're in a bull market, a bear market, something in between, a plan that don't require me to guess, it's bouncing off the 50 EMA, whether it's this wave or wave 3 or wave 5. Different people have different risk tolerances and different portfolio sizes, different goals. So I'm not saying my approach is the only way that works. I'm just saying it works for me. Okay. It works for me. I am on X, but I'm going to get on there a little bit more. Yep. So, my plan for stocks, I mean, I'm Google long. I'm invested in a lot of stocks, you know, but I absolutely love Google right now. And I'm waiting on a crash for stocks too. I told y'all that. Like I got limit, or so I just told you guys I cashed out a lot. I liquidated at the end of last year so that I can sit on some money, and I got money sitting there waiting to buy. Like I'm waiting on a good place to buy. Now I buy, you know, I have like automation orders that are automated. I automate VTI, VOO. Like I have some automations that's there, NVIDIA, my go-tos and stuff. I love Netflix, you know. I love SoFi. Y'all know I've always talked about SoFi. So I'll talk a little bit more about stocks too, because I'm very involved in the stock market too, right? So there's a lot of stocks that I've been into APLD for quite some time. So there's a lot of stocks that I'm into. I mean, I can pull up my stuff and show you all, and go down all of the stocks that I'm into. I have energy stocks. And, you know, so, and a lot of ETFs. Okay. A lot of ETFs, and I do contracts. I do scalp trading and swing trading and stuff like that. Right. Love SoFi. Yes. I love SoFi. And SoFi is another one that I have not, you know, I have it. I'm long SoFi, you know, and I'm a customer of SoFi. So they just get it. Yeah. They just get it. They got, their customer service. Like when you see their emails, they just get it. Like they're the future. I think banks are going to come to them and say, hey, how do we do an online bank? And they so innovative. Their CEO, I like their CEO, all of that. Right. So I have my strategies with that, but I love buying contracts. I do scalp trading. I do day trading. All of that. But I am still kind of, even though I'm buying here and there, I'm still reserving the majority of my money in case there's a huge pullback or whatever. So I love the way you explain XRP, because I was thinking I'm taking my profits and just buying a dip, and I'll lead to work in the news. So I'm going to ride. Yeah. I mean, it's up to you, and it's up to how you find cash. Like some people, they are, some people are, thank you. People are like, everybody's strategy is different, right? They need that money. They need to take some profits for other things that they need to do. For me, no, I don't trade full time. I trade several times a week, and I do long-term contracts. So I don't have to be glued to the, you know, my computer all day. I have a job. I'm a health coach, right? So I have coaching programs, And I just got off of a 2-hour session with my coaching group. Okay. So there's a lot of other stuff that I do all day. I have meetings. I have several different meetings. I do one-on-one. So I do coaching. Okay. So, and then also I have properties. I do real estate. Okay. And then also I have 3 teenagers that are very, very busy. My son is in sports. My daughter's in the middle of a cheerleading competition. We got to go, upstate and do that, and I'm with, I got a lot of things going. I got another one that's headed for college. So we got to do some college tours. So I'm busy all day, like literally. So I can't like sit at a chart for 8 hours. So I would rather, so my contracts are usually long. I pay more for my contracts, lower risk. I do my contracts often, unless I'm scalp trading. Like today I did scalp trading, meaning I'm in and out in like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, but I like to do them out like a year, 2 years out. I pay more for it. I lower my risk. I have a good delta, good theta. There's like, I won't buy any contracts. So I'm very particular about the type of contracts that I buy. Right. And so, yes, yeah, I'm super busy. I'm super busy, y'all. I'm super busy. When you get teenagers, man, you are busy. Like right before my coaching group, I had to go pick my daughter up from cheerleading practice, come in, hurry up, change, get in front of a computer, turn the light, you know what I mean? And then after this, I got other meetings, I got a training session, I have a coach, you know what I'm saying? So we do our trainings on Thursdays. And so it's a lot. It's a lot. And then I do, yeah, it's a lot. All right. It's a lot. So, too young. Thank you. I'll take it. Yeah, I got teenagers, y'all. I got teenagers. So, they keep me busy. Right. And so, yeah, I talk about stocks. The reason why I've been talking about a lot of crypto now is just because of where we are and what was happening with the reverse carry trade and stuff. So I'll be talking more about, stocks as well and companies in my group. For example, even when Apple took off, I keep up with the CEO, what they're doing, are they including AI? I'm looking at the PE ratio, how much their profit, their debt, I'm looking and analyzing some of these companies and just to see where I want to, put my money and how I want to invest. And I let my group know what I'm about to go, long in. And, I let them know like, okay, Apple about to, hey, Target, they about to get hit, you know what I'm saying? Like, because of things that's going on with their CEO or whatever, you might want to pull out. Like I kind of keep them abreast of certain stuff like that. But yeah, so I continue to do it. But again, my strategy for XRP, I don't want to be constantly adapting. You know what too? I'd rather spend my time on macro events. I'd rather spend the time that I would be trying to get in and out of XRP. I don't look at it as a trade. I'd rather spend my time on macro events and understanding what's happening behind the scenes than XRP's chart. Honestly, y'all, I don't really look at XRP's chart much. Like sometimes I glance at it just to look, okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, okay, it's oversold or, the RSI or, I'm looking at it and stuff, but I don't really spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time on other charts. You know what I mean? So I do study charts for stocks, again, for my contracts and purchasing shares and stuff like that, but I just don't do it for XRP. XRP is an accumulation strategy. Because look, you gotta, again, some people need to sell too. They need to pay bills. They need to do stuff. I would rather find other ways. I'd rather produce a product. I'd rather find other ways to get my money to, you know what I mean? For my livelihood, for bills, for whatever that looks like, and to keep investing in assets, right? Then in and out now, because think about it, y'all, trading is a skill. It's something under your tool belt. It's not going to make you wealthy. Just like me working a job is not going to make me wealthy. I don't care how much if you're a basketball player, basketball is not going to make you wealthy. What makes you wealthy is your mindset, your strategy, your ability to reduce risk, your identity, being able to match where your resources are, because you will self-sabotage. You'll get the $1 million, the $10 million contract, and then you'll lose it all. It doesn't matter how much money goes through a person's head if they don't have the mindset to be able to manage the money and a game plan and a blueprint and an identity that can scale at the level of what their resources are, right? That's why people do self-sabotage. If they don't know how to overcome the fear of success, the fear of failure, all those different things, they'll take that money and they'll think, I don't even deserve this money. And they'll spend it on everything and blow it off. I'm telling you, there's some things that happen with our inner man that causes us to not be in the place that we want to be, even if we have that money. So I say that to say, trading is a skill. And it can make you money. It is a tool to make you money, just like copywriting is a tool to make you money, just like, you know, content creation can make you money, just like a job can make you money, just like owning business can make you money, just like being an interior decorator can make you money, just like being a chef can make you money. That doesn't make you wealthy. Wealth comes from here. And I don't think people realize that, right? So just know that if you're looking at, oh, I'm about to get rich off of trading, no, most people don't even become profitable traders, because that skill set, you have to, it's an emotional skill set. It's a psychological skill set. Folks be FOMOing in, scared. They are anxiety. Their nervous system not healed. They be panicking. They, you know, panic sell, panic buy. Like a lot of people lose money off of trading just because psychologically they don't have stable emotions. And they think, oh, I'm about to make this. It's a skill, and it takes developing, you know, your nervous system, your emotions, all of that, right? Learning the charts, understanding technical analysis, all of that, right? Studying, learning how to watch the news while you're trading, because let me tell you something, technical analysis means nothing when the news come on and something winds up, you know what I mean? You got to watch for all of that stuff. But I'm saying it's a tool, and it's a great tool, and you should learn it. I do. I try to learn it. I try to grow at it. But it's not going to make you wealthy. So don't jump it. There's other things that's going to make you wealthy. All right. So just understand that, you know what I mean? But anyway, I love trading, and I do trade stocks, and I do contracts, and yeah. And I think also I saw a comment. I just missed it. Charts won't. I mean, I think part of this is true. I mean, you can look at it, you know what I'm saying, because it's coupled to Bitcoin right now. But what happens when it decouples from Bitcoin? It's going to decouple from Bitcoin at some point. That's what I believe. Nothing I say is financial advice. So you have to follow macro events when you're looking at something like XRP too. Again, I think it's very logical to take profit. There are some brilliant technical analysis, you know, experts, and they will take profits at $5 and $8, and they'll be watching for a retrace, and they'll buy back in. And that's what they do all day. They're brilliant at it. It's just not my plan. And it's good for them. It's good for their psyche, for their mentee, whatever plan that they have. It's just not my plan. I rather work a different way. I rather, you know what I mean, to make money. I'll do that, you know what I'm saying, with stocks and contracts and stuff like that. I make money off of trading, but I'm not trading XRP. Just like I don't trade Bitcoin. Okay. So, I'm looking at, if you see red, buy. That's it. There it is. If you see red, buy. I accumulate. I don't want to play these games with XRP buying and say, what if something go wrong and I done took a large order and then I'm trying to buy back, and I don't know, you know, and I've tried it, and I don't, you know, and I've been okay with it, but I'm like, this is too much. I don't know. I just need to hold. I want a lot of it. I just keep accumulating as much as I can. I got it in my Roth IRA. Come on down. Let me load up some more. Come on down. If it just come down, I'm just loading up. I'm accumulating. I got a nice amount. So, and I think it's done me well. I did. And the thing too is, again, you have to recalibrate your structure, because sometimes you sell and then you don't do the same, you know what I mean? You see other opportunities, and now it's like, wait a minute, but let me put this money there. So sometimes when you get that money, your plan don't stay the same. You start, well, because I've done that before. Okay, I'm gonna buy back in, but I'm like, no, I think I want to get some of this. And then things start, no, I'm like, I just want to accumulate. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's just where I stand. I'm just sharing my thoughts, guys. What's the best buy? I know it certainly was. And if we have another day like it, right? I'm ready, y'all. I'm ready. So, like I said, I just keep throwing money at it. Yep, never selling, never trading. And you know why? Because let me see. Might come a time where you won't be able to buy. Yeah, you might have to be accredited investor, or you know what I mean? Like there may be stipulations to that. So I'm just, yeah, what if you get locked out? I can't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can't take the possibility of any of that. I just want to hold it. I need it in my cold wallet. There's other things I want to do with it. I want to get yield on it. I want it for passive income. I want to borrow against it. I want to loan it out. Maybe I can loan it out to institutions. Maybe I have enough of it to do that. So I'm just accumulating because I have a plan, a greater plan for XRP. XRP is a part of my long-term wealth building process. It will give me a lot of options, right? Well, I don't have recommended ranges. As all of you all know, I load up when it gets under $2. Why? Because it ain't no need for me to buy a high. Why I need to buy a high? I got enough of it. And it keep coming down to where I need it to be. Even when people was buying it at $3 and $3, I was like, no, let it come back down to me. And I'm so happy I waited patiently because it kept coming back down. And I was like, institutions ain't gonna want to buy it at its all-time high. When you ever seen them want to do that? So I waited like them. I was like, well, they're gonna bring it back down. So I'm gonna just wait for it to come back down. And I kept saying I don't want to buy it over and that was also because I have a nice amount of it. I'm not in any FOMO or anxiety. Oh, is this the last chance to get XRP? Like, that's how most people, when it got over $3, they was like, you think I should buy it now? I'm like, you should have bought it when it was 50 cents. Okay. So like, I'm not FOMOing in like I'm missing an opportunity or something. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. I like my jacket. This is my little Nike jacket right here. You know, I'm a Nike girl too. Do I own XLM? Absolutely. I just told you I got buy orders at 11 cents. I got them at 8 cents. I got them all the way down. I love XLM. XLM and XRP. I love XLM and XRP. Right? Tangent is an excellent yeah, I mean, we still some of the brokerage accounts are still working on creating yield, but right now I wrap it in Flare and I'm earning on it right now because I wrapped it in Flare, locked it up on the XRP ledger and wrapped it in Flare. So I'm earning yield on it now. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. And I'm just looking to see if oh, and yeah, if you know, if you didn't have any XRP, I could understand about wanting to get it, even if it was $3, because especially if you wait, if you long term with it, I understand that because all-time highs at some point will be super lows. Like, just imagine, I don't know, like Nvidia when it reached $50. Okay, that's an all-time high, but right now, that's a low place to have gotten it if you're long term, right? So if you're long term, at some point, even an all-time high is nothing if you're waiting 10 years down the line, or if you're waiting 5 years down the line, or whatever, even if you're waiting 3 years down the line, right? You got to go on the Flare network to wrap it in Flare. It's a process. You got to go through Bifrost. Well, one of the ways you can do is go through Bifrost, but it's a lot of instructions involved. It's nothing that I can go through right now. It's very, it's a lot of things that you have to do to wrap it in Flare. But the first thing is you have to have Flare. So if you don't, you got to purchase Flare. Like FLR, right? Is XLM the cash app of crypto? No, XLM is, just think about XLM the same way you think about XRP, except it's for retail. Like XRP is for institutions and XLM is for retail, right? Yeah, they're settlement assets. Let's see. A cold wallet device. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Onyx. You know, I haven't really done a lot of deep dive into Onyx, but I do own some Onyx. But I've owned Onyx for a very long time, for years, for a long time. So I'm riding it out because I purchased it so long ago. Have you ever unwrapped your Flare wrapped? Yeah, you can unwrap it. Yeah, you can unwrap it. If you wrap it, you can unwrap it for sure. Yeah. So I don't. I have only a little bit of Telcoin. Only a little bit, not a lot. So, all right, just looking at a few more. Yeah, I like this. I always like this analogy. Seriously. All right. So I'm buying it high and I'm buying it low. Yeah, absolutely. Same here. Yep. Flare is very cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's very cheap right now. I don't know if Flare will be available for long, by the way. I don't know how long. I don't know if it'll be available for the public alone. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So if you, yeah, again, nothing I say is financial advice, but it's a part of me that don't think it's going to be available forever. Okay. So yeah. All right. Flare is at, okay. So yeah, I'm not looking at where it's at right now. I got a lot of it. Hey, Linda from Maryland. What's up? All right. Ready to run soon. I'm a telecom. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'll look into that. I have some, a little bit of it. I gotta see how much I have, but I have some. So I'll look into that. All right. So I just want to kind of share my plan and what I'm thinking through it again. I've heard a lot of different plans and it may make sense to some people. I'm just sharing what I'm doing with it. I have a long-term game plan for XRP, and I think XRP is going to be able to provide me multiple streams of income. So I don't need to be trading, and I ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna keep doing what I do. And same thing again with Bitcoin. I got, some nice amounts of Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin has a crash too, I'm loading up. I'm gonna load up on Bitcoin too, because Bitcoin maybe it might be used on the XRP ledger. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking into that as well. But yeah, but Bitcoin is like not even for me. I'm not even thinking about me when I think about Bitcoin. I literally am thinking about my children's as far as it can go, honestly, right? So I need it to go wherever it's gonna go in the future. I'm willing to wait because I gotta wait anyway if I'm talking about my children's children and all of that. Right. So yeah, I got a lot of comments and I'm buying XRP before I can't afford it. Yeah, at some point we're gonna be priced out. I don't like buying crypto on Robinhood. I just don't find it safe because of what they did with what happened with what was it? Y'all know. Robinhood be doing some crazy stuff. They be locking stuff up and then you can't sell. And Flare is a coin. It's a coin that you can wrap your XRP in. So I mean, it's more than that. I'm being lazy when I say that. I'm so sorry. It's a token. They have you have the Flare network that just look it up. The Flare network. Actually, the website. Let me see what the website is. You can go on the website and it'll explain everything. It'll do better than what I could tell you right now. So, but what is I just want to make sure, because it's a couple of ones that I make sure you don't go to the wrong one. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me just, because this should be on my portal. I think this is the right one. If it's not, please don't, because it's a couple of ones. It's a couple of ones you can go to, but portal.flare.network. Okay. And you can go and you can see, why is it not? Hold on one second. It's not loading up. I'm just trying to make sure. I'm just trying to make sure that was the right one. Because it's a couple of ones and you don't want to go to the wrong one. Trust me. But it's basically you bridge your XRP to the DeFi. Or is it this one? I think it's xrpfi.flare.network. If you go on there, you can kind of see. Let me give me 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen real quick with you guys just so you can see it real quick. Give me 1 second just so you can see real quick what it looks like. Okay, you see this? So right here, it kind of shows you, and you can kind of see how it works with the DeFi. It can show you exactly how you can mint it and all of that. You can go to how to and DeFi, and you can kind of learn a little bit about it right here. But this is where you would do it. I know it's a lot going on here, and then you see how it says explore yield, but you got to know what you're doing. So I don't recommend that I'm just showing you the website just to help you to understand, but you would have to mint it. And but it's complicated. Okay, it's not easy for the average person, but I'm just showing you what it looks like. Okay, I just want to show y'all that. All right, but that's the network that you would go to you got to mint it. It's a process that you have to go through, and it's a little laborious. Okay, so I just wanted to show y'all that. All right, Robin Hood be Robin Hood. Yeah, Decent Wallet is cool. I like Decent Wallet. It's cool. So let's see, Firefly. Yeah, yep, I heard about Firefly too. And I was just looking through. Tangent is great. Yeah, GameStop. Robinhood, look that up. Look up what happened with GameStop. I was going back through some of these comments. Okay, I'm not gonna get to all of them, but don't worry, I'll be back on. I just want to rock with you guys, share a little bit about what I'm doing. Make sure again that if you have not already, look at the links in the description, because I've been really trying to allow people to understand how to go beyond the education that we currently know that wasn't really given to us about finances. Okay. And I really often recommend you to go to Stock Up University. It is absolutely phenomenal. That's how I learned a lot of my stuff about the markets, and but it's everything on their technical analysis, learning about crypto, bonds, mutual funds, all of it. It's one of the best resources I've ever seen for learning how to read market environments, manage risk, and just think through cycles without guessing, because that's what people are usually doing, or without all the hype. Like, it really allows you to be a very intelligent, brilliant investor, and it helps you to build real market literacy, so you're not like lost every time something shifts in the market. So again, the link is in the description for that. And then also for those who want to go beyond education and think through your own personal strategy, like how to structure positions and manage risk, how to simplify your portfolio instead of overcomplicating it. That's where coaching comes in. I'm very selective with how I'm working with people right now. I just really, what I really want to do this year is help you to build a plan that you can stick through different market conditions, because things are changing really, really quickly. Okay. So we talked through positioning, accumulation, risk, how to stay grounded, your mindset, your business endeavors. If you're thinking about asset protection, all of that. So if you're considering working with me, it's a good time to reach out. The link is in the description for that. I appreciate all of y'all for being here. And as always, I want you to stay wise, stay wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.